Hi, dear students. Welcome back to the sixth session of Emergence of Nationalism in Europe. In last class, we had discussed the age of revolutions, romantic imagination, and national feeling, as well as romanticism. Today, we are continuing the same topic hunger, hardship, and popular revolt, where we will understand the reasons of the economic hardships of Europe in 1830s, and also we will discuss the 1848 revolution of France. After that, we will discuss the revolution of the liberals in 1848 took place Germany, Italy, Poland, and Austrian Hungary. In the same topic, we will also discuss the role of women in the liberal movement. So, these are the 2-3 topics today we are going to discuss. Let us start the lesson with the reasons of the great economic hardships of Europe in 1830. In 1830s, there were hunger, hardship, which ultimately led to many popular revolt in Europe. First of all, there were the enormous increase in the population of Europe. Population growth was an important reason of the economic hardships of Europe. It started in the first half of the 19th century. So whenever the population increase, it is very difficult to manage the resources. Second reason was the unemployment. Most countries of Europe, there were job seekers than the employed. So unemployment also led to the economic hardships of Europe. Thirdly, many people from the rural areas began to migrate to the cities of Europe, which ultimately led to the overcrowded slums. So, migration of people from village to European cities increased the population in the slums of Europe cities, which ultimately increased the economic hardships. Fourthly, the small producers of towns, European towns, they faced very strong competition from the import of the cheap machine made goods of England. Same in India, we had faced the European merchants and small producers, they were unable to compete with the imported machine made products of England, especially in the textile production. This collapsed the industries, which led to the economic hardships. Fifthly, the peasants struggled with a lot of burden of feudal dues and obligations. We have seen in medieval Europe, serfdom or slavery existed. The peasants were ill treated and misused by the aristocracy or the nobles. So, the feudal dues and obligations of the farmers ultimately led to the economic hardships. And next, the rise of the food price due to the bad harvest led to the economic hardships in Europe. So, rise of the food prices also was an important reason of the 1830s great economic hardships of Europe. So, dear children, these 5-6 points you just keep in mind as a reasons of the hunger and hardships of Europe in 1830s. Dear children, in 1848, France witnessed a revolt of peasants against the Louis Philippe and the existing political system. We have seen that the economic hardships of the people of Europe was very severe due to the all kind of adverse conditions. So people were really suffering a lot. So the widespread unemployment as well as food shortage brought the people of Paris out on the roads in 1848. The Louis Philippe, who struggled a lot to prevent these protests by raising barricades, but failed to prevent the protest. He was forced to flee out of the city, and the peasants later on June 4th they attacked the mansions of the contractors against higher wages. So these weavers, the farmers, they were treated very inferior by these contractors as well as the merchants. So there were the strike by them, and a group of them forced their way into the houses of these contractors, and they smashed the windows, furnitures, etc. And even they plundered the storehouses of Paris, and they themselves supplied the cloth to the other people. And many cloth merchants or contractors, they left with family to the neighboring villages, and the monarch, they tried to protest the strike, and there were the army in Paris, and there was a shoot of the army against this peasants' march, and around 11 weavers were shot dead in Paris. So this event is known as in 1848 revolt in Paris, and which ultimately led to the abdication of Louis Philippe, the French monarch. And later the National Assembly was proclaimed as a republic, and universal suffrage was given to all the adult males above 21 years of age. Even after this revolt, a right to work was guaranteed to everybody, as well as national workshops were provided to solve the problem of unemployment in Paris. So dear children, you just understand that in 1848 there was a protest by the farmers, especially the weavers, against the existing monarchy as well as the contractors. The Louis Philippe, who could not resist this protest, was flee to another place, and these farmers and weavers, they attacked the mansions, big bungalows of the contractors, and the contractors of the cloth with the family, they flee to other places, and even the army later came to suppress this revolt of 1848, and many weavers were shot dead. And after this, as I told you, National Assembly was proclaimed as a republic, and universal suffrage or right to vote was given to all male about 21 years of age. Right to work was granted, and national workshops were established different parts of France to solve the problem of unemployment. Dear students, now let's move to the next part, the revolutions of the liberals in 1848. We have seen in France in 1848 how the revolution was organized. Same way, different part of Europe like Germany, Italy, Poland, Austro-Hungarian Empire, everywhere different kinds of uprising, revolt were organized by the liberals. You can see most of these revolts were organized by the educated middle class of Europe. They were called the liberals. These liberals, they also got the support of the poor people, unemployed people, and most of the peasants. So they organized a revolt and uprising during this time in Germany, Italy, Poland, Austro-Hungarian Empire and different part of Europe. Remember, we are discussing a very rise of nationalism in Europe. In converting, I told you earlier, the society revolution from medieval to modern, or revolt, or from monarchy to democracy. These liberals were educated middle class. They struggled for parliamentary principles. They don't want a monarchy. They demanded for parliamentary principles, means elections, individual freedom. They wanted nation states. They don't want a monarchical kingdom. They wanted nation states. And they were supported by different political ideologies. Politically, these liberals who organized revolts, they demanded constitutionalism. That means they need constitution-based governance. In India at present we have rule with the constitution in democracy. So these liberals demanded constitutionalism. They demanded for a written constitution as well as parliamentary administration. These liberals of Europe, they demanded individual freedom. They demanded equality before the law. They demanded equal political rights for men and women. Socially, these liberals demanded or they struggled for a classless society. There should not be difference between clergies or nobles or landlords and the kings. All should be treated equally. They were against serfdom or forced labor. As a part of feudalism, the farmers were asked to do beggar. We have seen that, forced labor, and they want to pay lots of rent, taxes. These liberals were against that. So they were also demanding for equal rights to women in social scenario. They also demanded for private property. They also demanded for the freedom of markets and abolition of state restrictions on the movements of goods and capitals. So just understand, actually these revolutions are organized by these middle class people or middle class liberals. They wanted to stop these monarchy and they wanted a change towards constitution, towards democracy, towards republic and towards individual freedom and universal adult franchise, etc., etc. We have also in detail understood the 1830s economic hardships reasons and who are these liberal nationalists or what were their aim in conducting these revolutions in 1848. So read this lesson very carefully, these parts. Many of the places there is no continuation, so you have to connect the dots, underline the points, create your own point notes and read the textbook very thoroughly. And if you have any doubts regarding any of these topics, please try to contact me. Few assignment questions will be sent along with this. Try to answer it and send me as early as possible. Thank you.